So today I'm going to be bringing a video to you about things to think about when joining the military. Because a lot of people consider the idea of joining the military to be, oh, it's simple, it's a quick decision, it's something that I've always wanted to do. But as you get closer, especially as you're younger, as you get closer to that age, you'll be, 15, 16, and you could be at the time where you're really getting to the point you're about to go. Usually 17, 18 is that time where you have to make that decision. Now, I'm not saying if you get older you can't join, because there's definitely. I went into boot camp with somebody who's 38. I had somebody in my class who was 40. So that's not saying it's a bad thing. It really isn't to join as you're older. But a vast majority of the military is a younger crowd. So here's some things to consider while you're younger. Now, the first question that you need to think about is why. Why do you want to join the military? It seems kind of self-obvious to ask that question, but some people don't think about it. Everybody has a reason. Whether you want something out of it, whether you definitely want something. That's guaranteed. But you're probably going to want to join to travel, and that's going to consider what branch you're doing. You might come back to why you want to join, and all these reasons you could find out that there's a better decision elsewhere. So definitely why is probably the first question you should be able to answer on why you want to join. You probably want to travel, you want to get education, you want to see the world, more than just traveling. You want to experience different cultures. The military will allow you definitely to do that. Now the next question I'm going to ask you guys is what branch? What branch do you want to join? There's quite a few different branches here. You got the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Marines, the Air Force, and the Army. So each one of those has different benefits to joining. The Navy, you're going to do a lot of traveling with them. When you deploy, you're not deploying to one specific location like you might with the Marines or the Army or even the Air Force. You're going to deploy on a ship that is constantly moving. Vice with the Coast Guard too, you're still going to do that. You're not just going to one area. You're not doing that. However, you need to be comfortable on the ocean. You need to be willing to be comfortable there. If you want to see actual combat, if that's something you want to do, then there's different branches you should join for that. The Marines, you're probably going to see combat with them. Consider that. Consider that something that when you join them, you're probably going to see that. And that's something you should think about there as well. What branch do you want to join? What do you want out of it? Me, I joined the Navy because I really wanted to travel. And I love the ocean. It's been my dream as a kid to always be in the military. The Navy was just, for me, a natural choice. And I thought, the Army is one of the largest military branches. We got carriers, destroyers, cruisers, all these different ships that you can join and be a part of. So it's definitely, for me, the Navy was the best choice. Now for you it could be something else, but talk with your recruiters, get to know what you want. So the next question here, and this is kind of a complicated question. What do you want to gain out of being here? A lot of people will set their focus and put blinders on to, I want to join the military, but then they don't think about what they want. They don't think about what they want to get out of it. Military, you join, you're going to get your education paid for. You're going to be able to go to college, and the military is going to pay for you to go to college, guys. While you're in, you're going to get college credits. It's something you need to consider. What field are you going to choose when you go in? Because typically you join, and what field you pick is something that's going to influence the rest of your life. If you choose to go for nuclear in the, a nuclear field in the Navy or the Army or whatever branches have them, you are going to be around that field probably the rest of your life because of the education and the experience you already have. And if you go to join infantry, direct combat, you're probably going to be a part of a police force, strategic response units, things like that in this private sector. And vice, airfields, you're going to be working in with planes and things like that. So there's stuff really you need to think about what you want to gain out of being in the military before you just go pick a job, because that job will influence the rest of your life. And this is something also that I find really important, and this is something that really isn't something to really consider, but you guys got to be certain. You know, when you join, you gotta say this was the best decision for you. This was this is the best thing you could have done. You need to be certain of that choice, because when you go in the last, you're gonna ask yourself that while you're in boot camp. Why did I do this? And you need to be able to come back to yourself and say, because it was the best choice. Because I wanted this. I wanted to travel. I wanted the education. I wanted to experience it. You need to think and be certain before you join. And also, guys, now as the older generation, you've already, if you're past like 23, 24, you've probably already been working. You already probably have a career. So if you're joining, you could be going into reserves. You could, if you are going active, congratulations. I was a little bit older when I definitely joined myself. But I knew I had a backup if it didn't work out. But if you're 16 or 17 and you're considering joining, you're 18, you're getting out of college or high school, guys, you need to have a backup. You can't just throw all your eggs in the basket and say, this is what I'm going to do. Because you're in trouble, if that doesn't work out. Because you could go to MEPS, you could do all of that and not be approved. You could get into boot camp and it would just not for you, and you don't make it through, or you get hurt while you're training, guys, and you're out before you realize it. That's something that you need to have a backup. Do good in school. If you're good with athletics, don't throw that off to the side because you want to join the military. Make sure your academic marks are good in school because you want to be able to go to college or something else should the military not work out for you. Those are the big questions that I feel you should be able to answer before you join the military, guys. I know it seems kind of self-obvious on some of them, but some people haven't thought about that. And if you guys do have any questions, if you want some advice, feel free to ask below and leave a comment. I will answer them as best I can. Once again, like I said, I'm not in the other branches. I'm not in the Marines. I'm not in the Army. So if you do have specific questions about those, I'm gonna tell you now that I can maybe give you some advice, but I can't tell you the exact answer. But if it's about the Navy, I will give you the best answer I can. And about any branch, I will tell you what I think about it or the best advice I can. Anyway, guys, so thank you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And like my page and please subscribe. Everybody, have a great day. Take care, everyone.